According to the Oxford English Dictionary, the word programmatic means of the nature of or according to a program, schedule or method. In the world of advertising, that means the automatic purchasing of ad space on various platforms through some methodology, and it's not all been smooth sailing.
Well, I think we're now 10 years into this programmatic ecosystem. So the idea that you can use technology to buy ads as opposed to the old fax machine way. And so I think our idea is that right now you see a headline every week or two saying there's fraud in this new environment, or there's brand safety issues. Why is my ad running next to jihadi advertisements? And so I think what we're trying to do is to provide a safe, clean way for advertisers to participate in this programmatic ecosystem. So that's the first principle, is safety. The second is that, as with any new ecosystem, there's a lot of different taxes and fees being charged by all the different players in the space. And so we want to clean that up and bring transparency so the marketer can see where their money goes, and ideally put as much money toward buying content as they can. And then third is, can we use machine learning and other technology to get better results? So spend more money on the ads that work and spend less money on the ads that don't work.
That sounds very straightforward, but could conversion inertia be the result of well-publicized negative issues?
The biggest concern is if we don't tackle them, then marketers will continue to be afraid of investing their money into the programmatic ecosystem. And we've seen massive brand safety problems on both Google and Facebook in the past year. And so I think marketers are looking at digital overall and saying, who can I trust? Maybe I'll just keep advertising on television, even though we know that there's lots of cord cutters. I trust TV. I don't really fully understand digital. So the risk is that we won't see money move to digital that should. The opportunity is consumers are increasingly, almost predominantly using their digital devices to consume content. And so if we could find a way to bring all of that advertiser money into digital and drive the kind of results that you only get when you're delivering one-to-one, meaning to an individual person, as opposed to broadcast to everyone watching the same TV show, then we could dramatically change the economics of both publishing businesses and marketers and consumers. Because the more of the internet that's funded by advertising, the less money you have to pay for subscriptions.
But could new technology come to the rescue of new marketing technology?
The big change, I think, in 2018 is we're starting to see blockchain become a reality in the advertising space. Blockchain gives us the ability to actually audit all the way through the ecosystem to ensure that all of the participants, all the intermediaries, the agencies, the publishers, are effectively singing the same tune. And I think we're going to see real changes in transparency, in effectiveness, and in brand safety, because there's no disconnect between each step in the supply chain. And so that will cause compression, that will cause increased efficiency. I think there'll be winners and losers that appear as we get more visibility into what's actually happening in this new programmatic ecosystem.
Whenever there's disruption, there are winners and losers. So who's likely to fall into which category?
Well, I think you're a winner if you do what you say you do. So if the fees you charge are transparent, if they're cheap, if the value you provide is greater than the cost, then you're a winner. If you've been finding ways to hide money, or the money you take is different than the fees you're supposed to charge, you're going to be a loser. But I think everyone, at least in this industry, is asking the question, what does it mean for me if 2018 is all about blockchain and European privacy laws? They're changing and causing a lot of questions for everyone who touches any kind of consumer data. It's going to be the winners take a lot because they actually can survive and thrive. And I think the losers are those who aren't willing or able to adapt to a transparent, consumer-safe environment.
The rise in brand more carefully about where to place their ads.
Brand safety really boils down to user-generated content or editorial content. So imagine a world-class publication like The Guardian, has a controversial article about a topic that might have brand safety issues for certain advertisers. Simple example, airlines don't love advertising next to articles about crashes. That's an easy one to understand. There's an editor and a production staff at The Guardian who would say, hey, let's block airline ads on this page or on this article because they could be uncomfortable. So there's humans who have contextual knowledge and intuition who can help make sure that one, all the content meets basic editorial standards, and two, that there's not a conflict with advertiser concerns. That's how TV works, that's how radio works, that's how print works. When you bring in user-generated content, so a social site like YouTube, where anybody can type anything in a comment, or Facebook, where I can post on my wall whatever I want, there's real risk that if I say something offensive and an advertiser appears next to it, there's no human in the loop. There's no way to say, hey, I don't want to be by that content. So that's where I think there's a real challenge. And so if you just draw a wall and say, I'm not going to advertise in social, well, you're also losing out on the amazing scale of these social platforms. So that's going to be the challenge for advertisers. I think it bodes very well for editorial publications. I think we'll see a shift back from the social user-generated world into a more traditional model, where even though we use technology to facilitate the transactions, most of the money is spent on highly editorial, well-produced content from brands that the consumer trusts and that the marketer trusts. I think that's probably good for the internet overall. It is a challenge for Facebook and Google and others who really thrive on user-generated content.
Hello, I'm James Wright. Thanks for watching Marketing Media Money. To check out more online videos, just click on the boxes and don't forget to subscribe to the CNBC Live channel at the bottom of the screen.